What's good, everybody? I don't know what dial it is. There we go. What's good, everybody? Live from the Good News radio station in Hawthorne, California. Got all sorts of ruckus coming on.
Dropped their phone.
It's touchdowns and tangents. You know us for topical takes, NFL tangents, or vice versa.
Whatever, the occasional mouth breathing into the mic.
Woo! But yeah, man. Shout out to the Good News Sports for still having us on. Shout out to X Squad affiliates. Shout out to the FPC Radio. Shout out to the new FPC Radio app where you can find us. Shout out to everyone who fucks with us. Shout out to everyone who listens to us. I'm Pete Camarillo.
Shout out to Wingferno. I'm Kenneth Berry.
And shout out to Wingferno for sponsoring. And, well, who are you?
Oh, who am I?
I've only seen you like 4 times. Did we even go to this school?
What's good, Serve? How you doing, Serve?
Busy. I've been busy. I'm not a bum anymore. I'm not.
Wow, you were a bum before?
I was a Lyft driver. I mean, you know what? Let me not diss my other Lyft drivers like that because it's a hustle. But I felt like a bum. So now that I have an actual routine, I'm like, there's people that are actually on my ass, and I have some type of responsibility. Bitch, been tired. Even though I'm not, I shouldn't say bitch because I talk about whatever, but
it's National Women's Month, right?
And well, no, I digress if I say Elizabeth Warren dropped out, and I'm kind of geeked. And I got into it with my mom earlier about that. She was like, "How dare you? You're not for Warren. How dare you as a woman?"
Damn, like that.
Like,
why are you picking all white women to protect you when they've never protected you?
That's what I was trying to tell my mom. I was like, "She a fraud. She phony. Period." And my mom with me, we got into shouting match, but I'm glad she dropped out.
Was it like an Oakland shouting match, or was it like a
Bay Area?
Oh, damn.
Luckily, we're distant.
There were no sharp objects near each other?
Yeah. For that reason. This is why I'm in LA and
Bro was said about 17 times.
I love my family dearly. I love y'all if y'all listening. But
he said bro said 17 times.
In the first 32 seconds. Bruh. Bruh. Wow. Bruh. Wow. Bruh. Wow.
That's some Miami shit. Like how they say yo. Like how Miami people say yo.
Wow. Bruh.
With that though,
was the most defeated.
With that though, we actually had some news go down at the Combine this week. Kenny, you want to give us a lowdown on that? Since we talked a large portion of the show about the Combine last week. You want to give people the follow-up?
Yeah, so it didn't really do all that great in prime time as people...
Well, they actually said it actually did do a lot better.
It didn't.
Well, the first day did.
Yeah. Because it's like, not many people can watch that stuff in prime time. It's better if you do it early in the morning and you just keep replaying
Well, there's
highlights.
just, there's only the NBA on.
Yeah, I was like...
It's only the NBA.
Like, it's a combine.
You're gonna put the Scouting Olympics head-to-head with the... You're going to put the Scouting Olympics head-to-head with the NBA? Like...
Yeah, it doesn't really work like that.
Pretty much.
They wanted it to work. I think they're gonna...
Like I said, this was the year I watched the least amount of Combine ever, probably my whole entire life. Even like on social media, I didn't really see clips of it or anything. Like
this is the most I watched, honestly.
But yeah,
mainly for the fact that it was later in the day, and I could actually when I was actually home.
I like that whole experience of okay, not that you have to stay home, but you have to make time to watch the Combine or just catch the highlights of it, versus oh, this is just some shit that's on that I kind of care about because I kind of care about football. So let me stop and watch this. You know what I'm saying? I felt like it was something I could appreciate much more when it was okay, it's on NFL Network. You got to try to sneak it on your work computer or, make sure your phone is charged so you can watch it or, just take the fucking day off and stay at home and watch it.
Make a day of it.
Yeah. Which I did in middle school and shit.
But And that was fun too in middle school and high school, and even some parts of college. Just sit there and watch the combine, like, you know what? But I think that's a better spectacle for in the morning. Because, I mean, like, who wins? Like, there's no winner.
Yeah, so it's like you're just like, chilling. You're just chilling. It's on in the background. You're, like, halfway watching it. You come in and out of it. You know, you're having your little cereal, playing your little video game. You come back, check on the combine.
You're looking at the numbers. Like, I knew he was going to run a slow 40. Like, which is honestly one of the best things about it. When I look at, like, how me and my mom's relationship through sports is kind of manifested. There, I said manifested. So, like, because my mom ran track and because I played football and because she taught me how to properly run at an early age and, like, shamed me for it if I had poor technique. You keep your arms high and tight. Always. I don't care if you're slow. That's fine. Not everybody gets to be fast. But you better have good running technique.
So do you like that the receivers and the quarterbacks let off the whole experience versus in the past when they've kind of been more towards the receivers, the back end, the end of the week?
Yeah. The offensive linemen kind of almost were probably the steal. They stole the show.
Yeah.
So that was the perfect
Iowa tackle guard.
Tristan Wirfs.
Yeah, who ran an insane 40.
4.85.
36-inch
vertical,
which was like record. Which was like higher than like some players like DeAndre Hopkins and
CD
other
Lamb.
receivers. Yeah, bunch of different people.
Yeah,
which is wild.
And he's 320 pounds. Bechter, the Louisville tackle, 6'7", 364 pounds, running a 5.1 40. For those of y'all who don't understand speed and linemen, like, my mom was like, damn, he's moving. Like, it's always
about that 300-pounder
from Louisville,
347 or
367.
Yeah, by far the heaviest player.
Yeah, and he runs a 5.1. Like, I don't think people realize how fast that is.
No, that's insane. That's ridiculous.
That's like the equivalent of like a dude running a 4.3 40.
That tells me
like
that
he has
insane core strength underneath.
He's just big. He looks fat. He got some, fat on him.
But that's like an armor.
Like he's a rhino.
Like, yeah, that's a rhino.
That's rhino skin.
Yeah.
As they would say. And like, when I sit back and I would watch the combines and the drills, and my mom would be like, a lot of these cats are just uncomfortable running. And then Deion Sanders brought up a great point, how like, I never understood this either. If you're training for the combine, why are you trying to bulk up? Like, and then because Jamal Adams said it too. He's like, you're taking all this protein powder and all this other powder, and dude, it's bulking you up and it's slowing you down. They're actually slowing you down. So they're training you. You have to pay them.
Well, it depends on the player because some players do need to bulk up.
Claypool,
some players don't.
How fast Chase Claypool would have run had he stayed at 327 and not got up to 238.
But that's
imagine if he lost weight, he probably would have been even faster. He probably would have gotten the 4.3s.
But some players who might transition from, let's say, linebacker to end, or from safety to linebacker,
like Tanner Muse,
they need that bulk.
4.41,
or people,
moving
from tackle to guard or whatever, receiver to tight end, like some people need that added bulk for the next level, depending on what kind of player they are. But other players need to slim down, like some tackles and linemen often slim down for the combine.
Like, how do you get faster? Like, what's the one thing coaches taught us?
Fast twitch. That's about it.
And what else? What do you have to do? What do you have to do?
Sprint.
Exactly. You have to run a lot, right? Your cardio. You have to enhance your cardio. That's what they were kind of talking about. Jamal Adams. He's like, you should be, if you're running to get a faster 40, you shouldn't lift as much weights. You shouldn't lift as much.
Yeah, because you don't want your muscles to be torn. You want your muscles to be fluid. You want your muscles to be solid. You want them to be like strained in terms of like, they're growing and being tested, but you don't want them to be strained in terms of like ripped and sore and tight. It's exactly the opposite of what you want in the entire combine process, because throughout the whole thing, what you're really trying to show is fluidity.
And also, like, some guys were just nervous with drills. I mean, you see that happen all the time. But it's like, if you're running, you shouldn't be training to, like, okay, I got to add, like, 5 or 10 pounds to my frame. Like, yeah, you have to. You know, you do that, I think it's your pro day.
What were some audacious things you saw from the combine? Like some things that, like,
safeties running horrible 40 times.
Like some people who like did themselves no favors at the combine.
All the safeties who ran 4.8s.
Like
man. Notre Dame safety. I forget his name, but it was a Notre Dame safety. He ran a 4.81, and I was just like, XFL, buddy.
What'd you make of Hurts? Because everyone was saying that
Hurts ran a great 40. And
they said that he was throwing the ball pretty well.
Yeah, he threw the ball pretty well. I'm telling you, he has to do what Dak did. Just has to commit to throwing nonstop, just all the time. Work on his ball placement, his accuracy, his feet. It's good that he ran like a 4.59. The Hawaii quarterback, Cole McDonald, who cut his dreadlocks off, but, you know, because he had them dyed and he had them, they were super long. I think he had them cut off for the combine. But he ran a 4.58. He ran the fastest 40. Hurts ran a 4.59. I think the top QBs ran really athletic.
They said Tua's hip checked out pretty well, better than people expected. So that's not supposed to hinder his draft stock much. They've already been talking about the Redskins even taking him at number 2.
Which would be insanely stupid.
And, you know, essentially Josh Rosening, Dwayne Haskins.
And everybody said, oh, because it worked. I was like, it didn't work. You ruined a quarterback. You ruined Josh Rosen.
And let's be real. We all know we're going to call it Rosening and not Haskins. Just because, one, it sounds better, and because we're going to remember the white QB who got screwed over, not the black QB.
But the messed up thing is, like, there's a narrative that I think it was Doug Gottlieb or somebody else they put out there, like, oh, well, there are reports saying that he's dyslexic and that he can't comprehend the offense and it's really bad. And it's like, if he never came out and said this, if this never came out during pre-draft workouts, why are you putting this narrative out there? Oh, he might be dyslexic. It's when it's a black QB, the only time, when he can't grasp the playbook, it's because he's stupid. When Manziel couldn't grasp a playbook, he got pleas copped all over the place. When really he was doing drugs, beating up his then girlfriend, doing all types of wild shit, partying, everything else, he kept getting benefit of the doubt. But if it's a black QB, you can't get this. By the way, the head coach who got fired didn't even believe in him and gave him virtually no reps the whole offseason up until the season. So what do you expect? And it's just like, it's Bucky Brooks. Bucky Brooks called that out on Twitter. And it's he's talking about the coded language towards black quarterbacks, and it's really wrong. And it should really stop. Like we were talking about last week, where you can't compare a Taysom Hill to a Lamar Jackson because Taysom Hill's freakishly athletic. No, Lamar can actually pass. And then you can't compare Lamar and Deshaun and Patrick Mahomes and all these other guys because all of them, they throw the ball, but they all play the quarterback position differently.
They all play completely different styles.
Exactly. Yes, and what connects them is their athleticism and the fact they're all black.
Well, yeah, what connects them is the fact that they're all black, and they're an anomaly considering the deck is stacked against them.
Every last one of them. Deshaun Watson wasn't even seen as a first-round pick by some people, but he shredded a Nick Saban defense, and Mitch Trubisky gets picked ahead of him. Lamar Jackson has to wait in the green room, even though arguably I would say he got robbed of a Heisman and that he's better than Baker Mayfield, and that if you put Lamar Jackson in that Oklahoma offense, you think what Kyler Murray did was something special. You can't even comprehend. Those are video game numbers you can't comprehend.
And I know we talked a lot about, the receivers and the quarterbacks last week, but just in terms of running backers, Jonathan Taylor really, really ran really well. Ran under a 4.4, which is the first time besides Himes from the Colts, it was the first time in a while that a running back's run that fast.
Yeah, and he ran. No one expected him to run that fast.
Yeah,
he was fast coming out of high school, going into college.
He's physical, productive. Put on the track speed that we don't traditionally see from Wisconsin.